Hello, my name is Darren Thomas and I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to take a look at another differentiation rule for derivatives, of course, and this is the constant rule. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, we need to slow down and look at what we've talked about so far in the past. We've talked about the power rule, and that was in the context of when you had only one term. So if I had, let's see here, f of x is x squared. Let me make that x to the third. And if I want to find the derivative of f of x, it would be you bring the 3 down to the front as a constant, and then you subtract 1 from the exponent. And this right here is the power rule. This is what we call this. We looked at this. And so, but notice how we only have one term here, x to the third. In another video, we looked at the sum rule and the difference rule for, again, differentiation. So if I have another f of x, and we have equals x to the third plus x to the fourth, now the derivative of a function is the same as the derivative of the first function plus the derivative of the second function. Or, of course, if this is a minus sign, it'll be, the difference or subtractive of the second function, if you will. So to figure out this one, we now know that it's just going to be 3x squared plus 4x to the third. And of course, if this was a minus sign up here, down here, this would be a minus sign. So if I had a minus sign up here, I would have a minus sign down here. That's kind of what's happening. So the sum and difference rule are kind of the same concept, just whether you're adding or subtracting. And when we know this rule, we can now deal with more than one term. Whereas when we only know the power rule, we're kind of limited in case we don't know what's going on. But to extend things in this video, we're going to look at the ideal of what do I do in the context of when I have a constant in front of it. So to give you an example, let's say I have g of x, and I have here, let's say I have 2x to the fourth power. How do I deal with that? Because for us right now, where we're at in terms of the rules we've learned, we haven't learned how to deal with this guy yet. But it's really not that complicated. I'm just going to show you what it looks like and then talk about it a little bit more. So if I want to find the derivative of g of x, it's going to be as follows. Watch what I do here. So of course, I bring the 4 down. All right, so I'm going to put that in parentheses. And then I still have my 2 right here in parentheses. And then of course, I'm going to have x to the third now. So it should be clear what to do now. You multiply 4 times 2, and you get 8x to the third power. That is the derivative of 2x to the fourth. And so this is the constant rule, where let's see here, if I can make this as clear as possible, it kind of goes as follows. When we talk about it abstractly. Let's see here. Okay, good one. All right, so if I have j of x equals k, that's my constant of f of x. This means that the derivative of j x is going to be, the constant is going to still be out front, multiplied by the derivative of f of x. That's all that's happening here. And so you can see this is exactly what we did over here. We had this constant of 2. We didn't do anything to the 2. We left it there. And we did all the steps and all the rules for the power rule. We did all those steps. And then because we now have this number we brought down from the exponent down here, we multiply them to get the final constant that goes in front of the term. That is essentially what is happening here. So to give you another example here to show you how this works, let's say I'm going to go over here up in the upper right-hand corner. I have the following. I have g of x equals 2x to the third. And so again, if I want to find the derivative of g of x, it'll just be the matter of bringing the 3 down. 3 times 2 is 6x, and then 3 minus 1 is going to be 2, and that will be my answer right there. And so this is just an extension of the ideals we've already talked about in prior videos. So to wrap this up, basically what we talked about in this video was how to deal with constants that are in front of a function, if you will, when you're trying to find the derivative. And simply all you do is you leave it alone, and then when you bring down the value from the exponent, it goes down here, and then you multiply that value by the constant to get the final value of the term. And you just go through the process like that. It's not that complicated, but it's another tool that we need to be aware of as we continue to grow in our knowledge of how to deal with finding derivatives for various functions. So, I want to thank you for watching. My name is Darren Thomas. I am the Director of Educational Research Techniques. Take care.